C-Fan Sports, the sports show that's dedicated to the Seattle sports fan. This is Dave and Kevin, and we are excited for another episode of Seahawks Weekly. Are we excited? I don't know. Before we jump into all that, let's go ahead and make sure that you guys, if you're brand new with us or if you've been with us and you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up, thumbs down, leave comments. We're going to be going. Kevin says no comments. I don't know why. He's going crazy on us.
Yes, comments. No negative.
Kevin's been drinking the NyQuil. Okay, Kevin. So make sure you guys, we're going to ask some questions here throughout the show. I'd like to see your guys' responses. Again, thank you very much. By the way, Kevin, just so you guys know, we're two subscribers away from 200. We're closing in on our first little milestone there, on our scratching and clawing on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Kevin, oh boy, was Monday Night Football ugly.
Yes.
Yeah, we had two drives that weren't ugly. The rest of the game, as far as offensively goes, was just not good. Not good at all. Rasheem Green came rumbling, stumbling, took 2 points for us.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, first of all, what stood out to you in this game the most?
Well, what stood out to me the most was the fact that you actually finally predicted everything. Your offensive player, Tyler Lockett, was the X factor of the offense. Your defensive player, Jamal Adams, was the X factor of the defense. And your score, now the game was 17-15 Washington football team, but you picked 21-17. So congratulations, Dave. You did very, very well on your predictions. So other than that.
You know what that says, though, Kevin? You know what that says? Even a blind squirrel can you find a nut. That's all it says, Kevin.
That's true. However, the game was absolutely horrible. Russ was 20 for 31, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have a passing rating of 110.6. And overall, I thought he played better than he has been in the past. But the second, third, and half the fourth quarter was putrid. I mean, we had 5 series of 3 and outs, then 5 plays and punt. I mean, it was just horrible. We were 4 of 12 on third downs. We only had 10 first downs the entire game, where Washington football team had 27. The time of possession was 41.4 for the Washington football team and 18.2 for the Hawks. Seattle only had 34 rushing yards. We can't win games this way. And, you know, I've been very, very critical of Russell the last few weeks. I actually think that it was the run game more than Russell, even though he threw some really bad passes. If we could have got 100 yards on the ground and extended some of these drives instead of being 3 and outs, I really think that it could have been a different game. I don't think Washington was that much better than we were. It was just the fact that they controlled the ball and they made plays and we didn't. And there was just a lot of bad runs. I didn't like the whole running straight up the middle thing. I did not like the fact that I don't think Alex Collins is healthy right now. And I know that we just picked up somebody that we'll talk about in a little bit, but overall, you know, it was a game and we just need to shake it off and move on.
Kevin, what did the Oklahoma City Thunder, the movie Catwoman with Halle Berry, and the Washington football team Seattle Seahawks game that we just watched on Monday night all have in common? They are things that I never, ever want to see again.
Yeah. Okay.
Before I kind of go on my little tirade here, do you know what happened last night in the world of sports?
Yes. Yeah. The Oklahoma City Thunder got beat by 75.
The largest disparity in points, period.
75 points.
75. And nothing makes this fat man's heart happier than to see something like that.
Yeah.
Now, back to as far as Russell goes, Russell cost us, he missed DK Metcalf on that 2-point conversion. Trying to force the ball into triple coverage to Freddie Swain when you've got a gazelle running to the opposite end. And not only that, but he missed open throws. He threw behind.
Yep.
He does not get off scot-free, or he did have some better throws this week, but he is still not making good decisions with the football.
No, he is not making good decisions. There were so many times that there was people wide open and he was targeting one person. And in fact, if you look back at the game, his eyes were focused on that player the entire way. I don't know what's going on with Russell, and it's in his head. He did play better than he has the last 2 weeks. That's all I was saying.
I'll give you that. There was that. We at least scored points.
Yes.
I guess if we're looking for a consolation prize, there it is.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin. Let's put that game in the rearview mirror. Here's my little in-between question, Kevin, to you. John Schneider, Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson. Which one of and this is the question that I want our subscribers make sure, or even if you're not a subscriber and you want to leave a comment, do us a favor. Which one of those three survives the end of this season and moves forward with this team? And we're going to discuss that more as the weeks go on. Russell Wilson, John Schneider, Pete Carroll. Are all three going to make it? Is it going to be a combination of the two? Or is all three gone? Or just one? Is there a sole survivor? Kevin, quick thoughts on that.
My thoughts is all three are going to make it.
Oof. Oh, wow.
I just do not think that – I don't think John Schneider has been horrible. Yeah, he's missed on some draft picks, but so do other teams. I'm not overly worried too much about John Schneider. And, we wouldn't even be complaining about the first overall picks for Jamal Adams if we were still picking 27th, 28th, like we normally do. But we have a chance to be picking in the top 5 now because our season is just absolutely horrible. But if we weren't picking in the top 5, would we even be questioning that? We never doubted that trade at all last year, or even so far this year. I mean, we want him to perform better, but I think he is performing better right now.
We're seeing some life out of him. Absolutely.
Yeah. And obviously, John Schneider's missed on a few, but I really think that all three are going to make it through, and they're going to try it again, because I don't know. It would have to be an amazing deal to trade Russell Wilson. And I don't know how many years Pete wants to coach again. So my honest opinion, if the first person to go would probably be Pete.
Well, Kevin, I disagree. I don't think Pete or Russ is on the Seahawks sidelines next year. That's my personal opinion.
Yep. And
as the weeks progress, we will have this conversation more and more. I am absolutely 100% positive. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the Seattle Seahawks hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Sorry, had a little something going on with me there. San Francisco 49ers. Kevin, this team is coming in on fire. Deebo Samuel is not playing this game.
Yep.
So that's one lucky thing, but George Kittle is definitely playing. Jimmy Garoppolo is definitely playing. Again, Nick Bosa is playing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got enough out there that they should be able to handle us handily. But, Kevin, I think that Seattle comes ahead out of this game. We have had San Francisco's number. I think this week, Seattle is going to be a team on fire. For some reason, I just feel they're going to dig deep. Kevin, what are your thoughts this week?
Well, I think that they're actually a very good matchup, and they're always close games. I mean, very rarely do they blow each other out.
Yep.
It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, who performs better. And hopefully Russell keeps improving. He went from a 30 or 30% passer rating to 110 in 3 games. So if he can continue that process and, push the 120, 130 mark, maybe I'm dreaming, but if he can make better decisions, we got the tools. We got DK Metcalf. We got Gerald Everett. We got, Tyler Lockett. I don't know who's all going to be in the running back committee because it looks like we got DJ Dallas, Johnson, and our oldest running back we got. So, I
think
he
was a full participant yesterday.
Who's that?
Rashad Penny.
Yeah, whatever. Rashad, you could go ahead and pick him as your offensive player again. So I just he's gone bye-bye. He will not be on this team next year.
No.
Chris Carson will not be on this team next year.
Nope.
So they got to go a totally different ball game. Anyway, I just think Seattle and the 49ers match up very, very well. I think it's going to be a fun, competitive game. And I just hope we're in the game and we're not, the time of possession is not lopsided like it has been the last 3 weeks.
Third downs, Kevin. We have got to figure out a way to get 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 7. It doesn't matter. If the word third comes out of the announcer's mouth, our team falls apart. Yes. I don't know, the third quarter, the third down, it doesn't matter. Third is no good. No bueno. So, Kevin, we're going to start things off. Give me your offensive player of the week then.
Well, my offensive player is going to be Russell Wilson. I really think Russ has to make a stand or he will be gone next year, even though I don't think it's going to happen. He knows that if he doesn't turn it around, he could be gone. And maybe he's deliberately doing things so he could be gone. I don't know. So anyway, Russell Wilson is my offensive player to watch.
All right. Mine's going to be Ethan Posick. No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to be Ethan Posick. Kevin looked at me like, oh, he's been drinking again. Yeah. No, I'm going to go Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett to me is just, I love watching him play. Yes. And the more that we could get out of him, the better.
Yep.
That guy is an absolute beast. Absolute beast. And could be one of the premier tight ends in this league if they just used him the right way.
Yes.
All right, Kevin, so let's flip on to that defensive side of the ball. Tell me, Kevin, who is your defensive player that you're going to watch, the X Factor, the man of the hour, Tower of Power? Who is it?
Well, little Bobby Wagner, the guy that just is like an Energizer bunny and keeps going and going and going. I was shocked. I cannot believe how many tackles he's had this year. Some of the plays he played last week, I mean, just some of the hits. Bobby Wagner. Yeah.
Kevin, it's easy to have that amount of tackles when the other team has 357 plays per game.
That's true.
Okay. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Tell me in the comments down below if you missed, but I'm going to take his running mate, Kevin. I'm going to take Sir Jordan of the Brooks, and I'm going to think that Jordan is going to go out there, and we have got to figure out a way to slow down that running game, slow down George Kittle, and slow down that screen game. And I think it all falls on the broad shoulders of one Mr. Jordan Brooks.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right, Kevin. Any other additional comments that you have on this game?
No, I'm just looking forward to another game.
7 wins, 2 losses. The last 9 meetings between these two teams. Seattle has been on the good side of that, and yes. I would love to see that trend continue. Kevin, with that in mind, give me your score.
My score is Seattle Seahawks 24, the 49ers 20.
All right. Kevin, I'm feeling giddy tonight, and I'm thinking things kind of crazy, kind of zany. Some might even call me out of control. I say Seattle drops 31 points.
Wow.
And they hold them to 20. I think we have a small blowout here in Seattle this week. That's what I think, Kev. And like I said, I'm crazy. I was so good at predicting last week. I just went absolutely zany this week. Kevin, it's got 2 words for these people out here.
Go Hawks.
See you guys next week.